95 north, and we're going to travel along that for a while, and then we're going to take the Broadway exit and turn right on Empire Street. Then we're going to turn left on Fountain Street. Then we're going to turn right on Doran Street, and then turn right on Washington Street. He said, "You're going to the Pop Auditorium at URI. You say hello to all my friends there." So I believe, read the good word.
I thank Noella Pell for joining with us today. Feel strongly, like all of us do, about the future of this state and the future of our country. And to be able to take a good afternoon, well-deserved afternoon off, but she said absolutely not. I just want to be a part of the team and to be a foot soldier in the march for Barack Obama. I can testify to the extraordinary record that the Pells, and they were a family together, both Claiborne and Noella, dear and valued friends to President Kennedy and Jackie and the members of our family. But when you think of the education and the Pell Grants, when I think of the whole endowment for the arts, endowment for the humanities, I think of the Seabed Treaty, one of the most important achievements in nuclear arms control, so they would not plant missiles in the seabeds, which would have been the greatest threat to our national security, all initiatives. When I think of Amtrak, President Kennedy, if you can remember, Noella, President Kennedy said that Claiborne had Pell, and he had studied the United States Senate for years, and he said Claiborne was the one senator that he had seen who had come up with a new idea, which was the whole rapid transit from Boston all the way down through the East Coast. The Amtrak concept was Claiborne Pell's, and saw a down payment on it while he was in the United States Senate. Now it's all taken for granted. That idea was Claiborne Pell's. It's enduring and ongoing. It has enormous implications for passenger travel, but it has incredible implications for the environment. Years ago, Claiborne Pell. Now the environment's cool. Claiborne Pell was cool at that time. Now I brought you good news today. I brought you good news. And you know what the good news is? 1 year from today, George Bush will not be president of the United States. I thank you for joining with us today, and I hope that over the period of these next very few days, the next 3 days, the people in Rhode Island will understand the extraordinary important role that they have in terms of the future of our country and really the future of our world. You know, Democrats are hardworking. You've been out working for Barack Obama. You've been out there working, providing for your families, maybe taking off a little early on a Friday afternoon. But by and large, Democrats are out working most of the time. They haven't got time to go to big rallies or fundraisers. They're providing for their family. But they're vitally concerned about the future of their country. And I can tell you that all over this country and all over the world, next Wednesday morning, people are going to get up early and wonder, how did Rhode Island go? Where did they come out in terms of that election? So that is why your efforts, your energy, your interest, your involvement in these next 3 days, why we're here to ask for your help and your assistance. Are we going to get it?
Yeah.
And you're here really for some very basic and fundamental reasons. So first of all, the reason that you're here is because you care about your family. You care about what is their future going to be. You care about how you're going to be able to make sure that they're going to have a decent and quality education, or how you're going to be able to continue your education. You're here because you care deeply about your family and their future, because you care about them. You're full of love and caring about what is going to happen to them. You're here today because you care about work, you care about employment, you care about a decent job so that you can provide for your family. President Kennedy used to say the most important social program was a sound economy, was a good job, a good job. What does that really mean? A job where you're going to be able to get adequate kind of payments so that you can meet your obligations to your family. a job that's going to give you some degree of pride and a sense of satisfaction, a job that's going to permit you to put something aside in order for a retirement in the future, and also a job where you're going to be able to get some health care, or at least going to have the opportunity of finding affordable, reliable, sensible, responsible health care. You're here because you care about your family. You're here because you care about employment, about making a difference for yourself, for perfecting and developing yourself so you'll make a difference for your community and for the state and for the country of your love. And you're also here because you care deeply about the issue of health care. This is a passion in my life. I know it is for Patrick, and it is for all the people that are here. And quite frankly, I am so sick and tired of listening to so many of our colleagues in the United States Senate. When we go to the United States Senate, we fill out a little card. We sign our signature on one part of the card and then check off another part of the card. And the part we check off is our health insurance. You know, 99 out of the 100, 99 members, Republicans and Democrats alike, have all checked that little card off. Federal employees, health insurance. One who I have enormous respect for, Sherrod Brown, said he's not going to take health insurance till the people of Ohio have it. He's the only one. But Republicans and Democrats alike have signed up for the health insurance. And you want to know something very interesting? You want to know who pays the premium for the health insurance that the members of Congress have? You do. 72% of the premiums that are there for every Republican and Democratic member of the House of Representatives, including the President of the United States, his cabinet, and the Vice President of the United States, and all their cabinet, are paid for by taxpayers. And yet, when we go to the floor of the United States Congress and say, we want for the people of Providence, the people of Rhode Island, the people of Massachusetts, the same kind of health care that we have for our own, as we have for our own, you know what Republicans say? That's socialized medicine. We can't do that. We just have to oppose it. We have to resist it. We have to fight it. This doesn't make any sense. Well, let me tell you, if it's good enough for the President and it's good enough for the members of Congress, it's good enough for the people here in Providence, in Rhode Island, in Massachusetts, and my friends are here because of education, the key to opportunity. We don't have Massachusetts and Rhode Island, states that are neighbors, share the oceans, share magnificent rivers, share an extraordinary history and traditions going back to the founding of this country, deeply shared, but remote from the centers of power in the heartland of this country. We don't have the great natural water resources that the Northwest has. We didn't have the oil and the gas that the Southwest have. We have had to depend upon innovation, creativity, and hard work. We have had to put a premium on education. John Adams, founding father, wrote in 1780 the first constitution here in the United States that we have in Massachusetts, the oldest constitution in the United States of America, talking about the responsibility that all of the citizens have in terms of helping to support good education for all the people in their community. He charged our state with that responsibility. Every single state that was followed has written a different clause in there saying that we as Americans place a value on the education of the young people here in our communities and in our country. And that is something that Barack Obama believes in. Not just sort of words on a page, not just sort of programs that are out there, but he believes that it is essential that we are going to make sure that every young person in Rhode Island, in Massachusetts, is going to have the good quality education that they deserve as a birthright of being an American citizen. And I think you believe in that as well. It's absolutely essential. This is the issue, and this is the question. And finally, are we going to have a president that is going to be able to bring this war that we never should have fought in the first place to an end? The best vote I cast in the United States Senate was in opposition to that war. I did not believe. that we were threatened by Iraq. And I'm a member of the Armed Services Committee and listened to the testimony and all of the combat arms that were there. General Nash, who led American forces in Gulf War, General Clark, General Zinni, General Hoare, the most highly decorated Marine from the Vietnam War, from Hyde Park, Massachusetts. All of them testified and said, if we go to war, Baghdad will look like the last 9 minutes of Private Ryan. And then we listened to the political representations, the distortions, the misrepresentations. There were 8 members of the United States Senate on that Friday afternoon before the Thursday when we've actually voted on the issue of the war. And there was one voice out there, one voice of a candidate that was running for the United States Senate. And he said no. That voice was the voice of Barack Obama. And that is why when people say, will he be ready on day one? What happens when the phone rings in the middle of the night? I know what Barack Obama's answer is going to be. He'll protect the security of the United States, but he's not going to bring us in wars that we never should have fought in the first place. Does he have the experience to be able to lead this country? You know, about 6 weeks ago I went to a conference up in Boston, and they had America's greatest historians. And they were trying to make a judgment on who the best presidents of the United States were. And they were trying to decide what the criteria that they would use. And so they asked Mr. Dalek, who's one of the great American historians, to work out the criteria. And that criteria which they used was the basis on which they made the judgment decisions about who the great president. Did the individual have sound judgment? Did that individual understand where the United States ought to be and what the United States' role should be in the world? Was that individual someone that could inspire and uplift a nation? Was that individual someone that could bring out the best in the American people? Did that individual demonstrate sound judgment over a period of time? And when I listened to those criteria, I said, Barack Obama, Barack Obama, Barack Obama, Barack Obama. We have the most experienced vice president in the history of this country. His name is Dick Cheney, and look what experience has done to us because of him. Yeah. We have someone, my friend, I saw what he was able to do out in Chicago. And when Barack Obama first came to the United States Senate, I asked our Democratic leadership, can he come on our committee, the Committee on Human Resource? Will you appoint him to our committee? He wanted to come on because that committee is the committee that deals with health and education, the jobs, employment, and research, in other areas of human development. And he came on that committee. And what a resource, what a value, what an energy he brought, competency, knowledge, commitment, work. All the way through it, as he demonstrated in the Chicago when he'd been there as a community organizer. He will be ready on day one. He is ready today to take on that job. And so, January of next year, when Barack Obama raises his hand, we know that this country will be headed in a new direction. We'll know that there is a new spirit in the United States of America. We'll know that the politics of fear, the politics of division, the politics of special interest is out. And what we will know when he raises his hand to be the next president of the United States, that change is in, new leadership is in, America is going to be back on track, a new day, a new vision, new hope, new progress, to give the United States American citizens the kind of America that all of us believe that America should have.
Yeah!
So remember this. March 4th is the date. March 4th is the date. Rhode Island is the state. Barack Obama, our candidate. Do for him what you did for President Kennedy when they elected him overwhelming in Rhode Island. Go out and give him your support, give him your vote, give him your energy, and he and you and I together will return America to all Americans. Thank you.